Hey guys, what's up? It's Schla coming back to ya with another episode of Car Rides with Schla. And today, yeah, I'm not really sure today what to say. I'm well, there goes back to just that like saying that. I kind of wanted to get over Stephen making that phrase because it's like, what's the point of me talking about not having anything to say? I might as well just find something to say. I think like I really have to find that muscle. I actually definitely had something to talk about. um I know I did last night, but again, by the time you sleep and then now it's the next day, you forget some things. I guess I should get more into the habit of jotting things down. I really think the the true problem is just that the lifestyle I lead is not really very conducive for any creative output. Um, so because it's a very busy, not only do I work a substantial amount of hours, but it's also, yeah, it's not just working a lot of hours. It's in my personal life also just not really having much free time, you know. And as somebody who I guess I can call myself an artist, I used to resonate with that label, but I didn't know in what way. Now I know it's likely my voice, which I would have never guessed if you would have told me that when I was, you know, younger. I just didn't think that would really be it. But I feel like that's my artistic medium. And, you know, with the lifestyle I lead, it's very difficult. I've talked about this before, how it's like, there's certain people where they probably should just be working a 9 to 5 because they wouldn't. And I don't really like saying it because it does sound a little bit mean or condescending. It does, but I just want to like try to say like kind of the truth. I mean, there are some people that just don't, like, they don't really have much to offer besides whatever they would work. Like, that is kind of a true situation that we as humanity has to come to terms with. Like, it is what it is. It's not, I don't know. It is what it is, and it's not what it's not. Now, so yeah, like I try, I do think of that, and I know what I said. I mean, there's a condescension to it. I don't even know if that's a word, by the way, condescension. But it's true. I mean, some people, like, they don't really have any, and I didn't for a lot of my life, it felt like, because I wasn't really looking in the right place. Like, I was thinking, I don't know what I was thinking I'd be good at. I just didn't think I was good at anything. So, for a long time, that was it. Now, if it wasn't for the distractions of modernity, maybe I would have found out what I wanted to do and what I was good at sooner. But there's obviously a significant amount of noise in the way. There's a lot of noise in modern life. I think we've talked about this before. Now, in some ways, modern life has given me an outlet and a path to discover what I really wanted to do because, through YouTube and being able to have such a seemingly infinite degree of audio content, like basically at any time, it's a lot of audio stimulation. It's a lot of audio stimulation to take in and learn from. So, and that wouldn't have been available in the past. In the past, it's possible I could have been reading books or something, but, for me, I don't think that would have been as conducive for my brain, although it actually probably would have been more conducive for my brain. What I mean by that is, like, my brain in particular, I think, benefited a lot from easy access to auditory stimulation, not just verbal like that. It's just kind of how I am. I think, not like I don't like reading, though, you know? Like, that isn't true, and I think AI has kind of reawakened my love for reading. I know some people would probably think that sounds really cringy, but it's true. I mean, I've read a lot because of AI. I just think like a book is not really cuz I'm too like the thing with a book is I'm a very curious person, and a book is not, it doesn't really satiate curiosity in the way that an open-ended AI can. It's not possible. It's not even like particularly close. Now, if you're not curious, then a book can actually make like a lot more sense because it's a book, and you're just reading a book and you don't really come up with a million questions. I mean, for me it's like when I read stuff, I always had questions. I mean, regardless of what type of media I'm consuming, whether it's a movie or whether it's a book. And I think that's kind of why AI has been such a hit for me, is because it's very interactive. It's very, you can really build off of it. I ask a question based on something in the prompt, I ask another question, and it becomes like reading, but it's much more interactive, and in my humble opinion, educational, like the potential for it to be that way. Oh, how we got on this tangent, but I think kind of something that's been a common theme, but I'm continuing to try to work on and modify and improve is the idea that I really need to start putting myself first. You know, that's it. It's just something I haven't been doing for a long time, and a lot of it is out of a weakness, but you know, because it's a weakness based on, when I have conflict with people, I don't like the static and I don't like the space. So that's two things that, like, whereas most people are fine with static and space. I think it's because of how people's brains work. For me, I'm always focused on the eventual inevitable. I think most people just focus on what's in front of them. So a lot of people, like, it's so easy for them to just tap out. And yeah, like they just started this big argument with their friend, but, you know, they don't feel like dealing with it, so they'll just play a video game. And they feel like that is an okay, um, like topic to, or not topic, an okay, like, way of doing things. Whereas, like, I would never treat somebody like that. Like, I would never. So, and I've talked about it before on this show. A part of it, and I have said like a part of it is mental bandwidth and like a bandwidth differential. I mean, it's very clear I have a lot more patience than other people, especially when it comes to verbal interactions where, again, like most people are actually very fatigued by verbal interactions. Like it's very draining for most people, especially to have like you know, a serious conversation or a conversation that is needing to be done out of necessity. I mean, I honestly know a lot of people where, you know, in their relationships, whether it's a friendship or even you know, a significant other relationship. I don't know why I'm like saying that so weird. Um, it's like they never really get to any of the solutions or problems, and they just deal with fights and arguments by never really reconciling them. And it just seems to be like the norm. I, of course, it's possible that I'm wrong, but it seems like more often than not, like a lot of relationships nowadays, they really are not like I just don't like them. I honestly don't like how, modern people kind of think, where again, it's like my best way of describing it is you're two completely different people that probably shouldn't be together. And then, like, you're in the same room, but you don't interact with each other, and you're both just on your phones doing two completely separate things. And to me, like, I don't understand where is the relationship in that. Like, if, you know, the guy is playing his video game on his computer while the girl is scrolling on Instagram, and they're just in the same room in silence, just both doing their own thing. Like, what is the point to that? What is the purpose behind that? You know? It's just where's the relationship? That's kind of what I like to get at. It's just like, you know, because I have a hard time understanding or seeing why somebody would find that to be like an enjoyable situation or scenario. It just seems like very um strange to me. So, it's just like, yeah, again, I mean, what is the point? What is the purpose? I don't know. I'm not sure, but it always is just kind of unsettling for me, and it's uncomfortable. And most people, it seems like they just aren't really phased by it, you know? Most people that I've talked to about it just don't really see what the problem is, or, you know. I don't see what's special about that, personally. I just don't really get it or comprehend it, I guess. It just seems odd to me. And I don't know why I care or why I notice that this is such a, like, again, like an odd kind of circumstance about modern life and modern interactions and relationships and whatnot. Why do I notice it and nobody else seems to? Sorry, I'm just getting thrown off because my car almost seems like it's shaky, and I don't really recall it feeling like this ever before. So, because we just got on the highway, I only really noticed it at a higher speed, but it just seems like shaky, and I don't understand why that would be the case. I didn't notice it at all the rest of the time, but I don't know. I guess I'll like just have to see if it continues because there's not really anything I can't just like stop going to work over something like that, but I guess I'll kind of look around when I get to work, but I don't I could think maybe it's just the road, but it's been a while, that it's like I've been driving for a bit. Yeah, I mean now it seems kind of yeah, I don't know. I guess you really can't know with those kind of things. Anyways, I don't really remember what I was talking about, but to cycle it back into something I can talk about, something I think probably that I originally wanted to talk about is just that I kind of feel overextended, right? Like it's like I feel like again it's not really fair that I kind of feel like for other people, a lot of my friends, I end up being turned into a punching bag because I just kind of put up with a lot. I really care about trying to keep things together, and it's just like that's just what I'm doing. Yeah, I don't know. It's just weird. This shaking thing my car is doing. I guess it could just be the road. Like I could try changing into a different lane maybe. But no, like it feels like the car. Yeah, I don't know. Cuz it had stopped for a bit, but now it's like doing it again. I just don't know. Anyways, yeah, like it's too much. Like I just feel like I'm really there for other people, show up a lot, and I still get kind of like I said, like some kind of thing for people to just be angry at when I'm not even. That's basically how it feels. And I put up with it because I value friendship a lot, but I mean, some of these people just. And again, I don't know. I mean, is it also just a matter of. Because I've also just chalked it up, like I said, to the whole thing of patience and mental bandwidth and things like that. You know, other people just don't. I just don't think it's there. And when they get mad, they really get mad, you know. I'm going to put that out there too. Like it always feels like that. It's like people complain about me being like when I'm mad, like it's such a big deal, but then like they'll be mad all the time and never really acknowledge it or, and that's I don't understand how that's fair. Like because I think it's mostly I almost want to say it's like the competency in my words and what I'm able to say. It just ends up potentially being hurtful, whereas other people don't. I guess don't have like the volume and the quantity. They just resort to that, but I guess I'm feeling a little bit tired. I really want to try to do, wanted to try to no I really wanted to try to push it more with my conversation, and I felt so like inspired and like ready for that last night. But then it's like this morning now. Again, by the time we get to the morning, it's like now I'm not really all as psyched anymore. So I feel like that's kind of something that happens to me from time to time. Yeah, man, I'm sorry. It's just like I really wanted to do so much more of a muscle. I wanted to really try to muscle through and I don't know. Then like again the morning's here and it's not here. It's a shame. I should have taken some notes or something. Should have jotted down what I wanted to say. I'm just tired though too. You know, I didn't sleep perfectly last night. I bet my sleep score is not all that good. I could try to check it right now. Yeah, 70. That's not really great. Yeah. So mainly because of the length. I don't know. Woke up, had a hard time falling back to sleep. So I'm not operating at my peak. You know. I really want to try to prioritize more sleep, but it almost seems like my body is just very like in this routine of like the 6 to 7 hour sleep thing, and I really wanted to get more like 7 to 8, but I don't know, it just keeps like not happening. So but yeah, I really have to start to try to take some kind of charge over my life, and I think that's probably what I wanted to talk about. I probably wanted to get into like just learning to be like other people, where you know, if something's not right in front of me, then I'm just not gonna be. I mean, this is not gonna change, especially not overnight. But it's probably just something I need to learn to do because it causes me so much grief and pain, especially with the people I know, where you know I'm always thinking about the future, the inevitable, the important stuff, and people in the moment just want to completely blow me off and just like run off and do a bunch of their own thing. What I wanted to talk about is like, I understand that there's a cognitive differential with, you know, treatment of others, but at the same time, I think like there really is a component of there is this component of effort and what the person, because like again, a lot of the ways that I've been treated, I would never treat another person that way, and it's because I just have that as a standard in my mind. Like I would never do that to somebody else. Whereas like when I bring that up to somebody else, they'll just like, "Oh, I never thought of that." Or something, right? Like that's kind of the impression that I get from things. "Oh, I never thought of that." "Oh, I don't know." Like it's like people are not. So yeah, I mean they get the benefit of being around a person that really thinks about other people and other people's feelings, but then, you know, that it's like totally not reciprocated at all. I mean, you know, I don't even, I honestly can't believe it. But that's what I think. I mean, it's a cognitive difference, but I really think it's like an effort difference too. It's just like if you don't care about something, you're not gonna think about it. That's just like how these things work. And I think there's probably plenty of people who are at an equivalent or even a lower cognitive level than some of these people, and they're just not as rude because they're more compassionate. Like I don't know. I'm starting to get like a little bit tired of it because I feel like I'm giving people too much of the benefit of the doubt, too much of a benefit of the doubt. Ugh, wow, this guy did not need to do that. You know, I thought I was going to be more on time than this, but I don't think. I think I ultimately ended up driving pretty easy. So my time's probably lower than it should have been because I did get out to the car like I wouldn't say early, but just like at a good time, like kind of when I would want to be, just a good time. Not like my best time, but I didn't think it was a bad time. Um, uh, I don't know. Sorry, I was just concentrating on driving. But yeah, I mean, I like past a certain point, I kind of feel tired of like justifying it to people, you know, because it's just like I really try to like always I guess think that way where like I'm really seeing like trying to see like the good side of a person and stuff like that. But again, I think past a certain point it's like it's you know, you either care or you don't. Like that's really how I feel about it. It's you either care or you don't care. And there's just not much else to it. Ah, man, this light. I mean, I probably could have went through it, but it just gets you. And I feel like they don't even take that into account when they design these things. Like they just design the light based on time efficiency, but it's not based on wear on the car or anything like that, or thinking about somebody having to stop quickly. It just seems like I don't I mean, I'm obviously more, I guess, sensitive to it than a lot of people, but it's still, I still don't really think it's that smart. Like, I don't know, but humans, they really just think about optimizing things for speed. That's really what they like to think about. So I guess that's what you get. Well, and there's other things too. Like I said before, you really should have a timer that shows you when the light is going to change. But the reason why they can't do that is because people would abuse it to try to beat it, or their calculations would be poor. But, you know, I think that's why they just can't do it. Um, Although it's still, I feel like there's still an argument to be. No, it's because people are just always. There's going to be too many people that just try to beat it. When that shouldn't be the point. The point should actually be that you could stop, like, sooner. That's really what the main, like, if you're seeing it's going to change soon, then you can slow down faster. Like, I'm thinking about slowing down and how it would be easier to slow down. Other people are thinking about how they could just, like, abuse it to take advantage of it or something to speed it up, and that's where there's a difference. Sorry, this thing's just giving me trouble. All right, we're good. Fortunately. All right. I forgot about ending things sooner, so I forgot to do that. My fault. Um, but yeah, I gotta go. So it's been schla, but now it's time to buy schla. So see you, schla.